Hi, I'm James. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Gwyn. Now today's episode is going to be egg cutting. I've got 8 eggs there. 8, that's 4. Got 8. And they're from a male Mojave and a female leopard pinstripe. Now we're going to go over the actual cutting of them, why I cut them, and also I'd like to talk about the breeding and hatching records that I keep, just to show you that information, that record keeping that I've got on everything that I'm breeding and hatching. Now, the possibilities that we've got for this clutch are a wild, a leopard, a Mojave, or a pinstripe. Or we have a combination of those, which would be a jigsaw, which is a pinstripe Mojave, a leopard pinstripe, a leopard Mojave, or a civet, which is a leopard pinstripe Mojave. So all 3. Not that hard. Why I have to think about that, I don't know. I'd love to hit a civet. They're also called a leopard jigsaw as well. So they come under many different names, but essentially it's the 3 genes: Mojave, pinstripe, and leopard. So we'll see how we go. Now these eggs have had a bit of a tough ride. So Christmas, where the female was gravid, she was building those eggs. She managed to get out of her viv overnight. And Christmas Day, I spent a good couple of hours out in the facility looking for her. Now I found her under one of the racks on some aluminium bars. Luckily she was okay. I'm not quite sure how she'd managed to pull the air vent out of her vivarium, but she did. It's not going to happen again. They're now braced on the inside, so she can't get out. And she's quite a big snake as well, and the hole was very small, so it's something to bear in mind. Now, if that wasn't enough, I built a new incubator around that sort of time, and this is the first clutch of eggs to go term in them. And the first week that the incubator was running, I had a power cut overnight, so I didn't know about it until I got up in the morning. And I've been playing some games online with a friend of mine till quite early hours, so I know that the electric was off for about 8 hours, maybe a little bit more. And when I came out, the incubator temperature had dropped down considerably. So I've been very worried, very worried about these eggs, but they look to be doing well. So without further ado, let's get over and start looking at the egg, shall we? So before we get into the egg cutting, I'd like to just show you the records that I keep for the breeding and the hatchling records. This is the first document, which has the dam, the sire, an additional sire, in case I pair a female to another male for one of many reasons, or a male comes to me and she was paired previously in the season but doesn't seem to have taken any sperm on. Sometimes I can even record in there what she was paired to the previous year, and it just helps in case I get an odd hatchling that doesn't match the pairing that was done this season. So below that we've got the pairings. So this is the paired date, whether it was the original sire or the additional sire, and the duration that they're locked for. So I've got males that will lock for 24 hours, 12 hours, some will do multiple times within that 24-hour period, or 2 days, however long you leave them together. So a nice record of that. A pre-lay shed, so I know when the pre-lay shed came. I would then fill this blank bit in, which I forgot to fill in when I made the document, which would be the expected laid date of the eggs. So we jump into the eggs here, and then I've got a date for when the eggs were actually laid. I can then put a date when I expect them to pip, and a date when they actually did, or whether I'm going to cut them. I will record how many good eggs, how many bad eggs. Bad eggs include slugs, deformed ones, any with no veins at all, that sort of thing. I would then record how many hatched and how many failed to hatch, and any notes below that. Now, here is a record of this pairing that we're going to look at today, which is Pumera, and she's a leopard pinstripe, to Mo, the Mojave. Very imaginative, I know. I've got 3 Mojaves, one male called Mo with an E, I've got a female called Mo without the E, and then I've got Mona as well. No additional sire. I paired them several times, 4 times there. You can see that he locked 24 hours or so, give or take, each time I paired them. I can see that the pre-lay shed was here. This is when I expected the eggs to be laid. They were actually laid 3 days early. This is when I expect them to hatch, which I think is actually wrong. I think I worked that out wrong. I haven't put down the actual. There was 8 good eggs on 1 slug there. And I've also put down the weight of the eggs and what the average weight of the eggs are. Other things I would often record in here is maybe the pre-lay weight of the female and the post-weigh weight of the female. Now that's all good for the pairings, and it does say hatchling. Well, it's Hatchling Records, not Hatchling Record. Now here is the Hatchling Record. I will put the morph that the snake is, whether it's male or female, an ID, the sex we already talked about, when it hatched, who the mother and father were, and then the dates of certain events. So a feed, and in this column I will put what it fed on. Was it a rat pup? Was it a large rat? Was it a multi? Was it a mouse? Whether it was accepted or rejected. Was it an assisted feed? The weight of the snake at that point, because maybe some of these lines won't be all feeding lines, and then any notes that I pick up. So maybe a yolk sac wasn't fully absorbed, but when they hatched, but it's been absorbed now, or I had to remove the yolk sac, or there was an umbilical cord issue, or anything like that. Just so I've got a full record of exactly what's going on. Okay, so now I want to talk about scissors. These are the 2 pairs of scissors that I use. Downside to these, they're quite sharp on the end. They're not rounded off, so you've got to be careful not to jab them into the hole or jab them into the snake. But that's not something I intend to do with them. Now, there are many different ways to cut eggs. Use a razor blade, use large scissors, small scissors, rounded scissors, pointed scissors, a Stanley knife. You could use any means that you want, as long as it works for you. Now, as I say, if it works for you, then great. I'm not going to jump to any conclusions, jump down anybody's throats. But let's have a look now what you've all been waiting for. So this is the box straight out of the incubator. As you can see, there's a lot of condensation on the outside of the lid. Apart from here, that is because that's where my security camera's been. I've got a camera in the Viv so that I can look at the eggs when I'm not in the house. It also helps, because they're getting up to ready to pip, that I can keep an eye on them and get really excited when I'm not home. Of course, in the current situation, I'm home all the time. So when I open this, even though we're about to cut them, I want to be very careful not to drop any water out of the lid onto them. Right, that's all out of the way. So these are the eggs. And you see we've got 8 there. Some of them starting to get a little bit of mould on, but they've all sagged in a little bit. None of them are particularly plump, so we should be all good. Right, so hopefully you'll be able to see this, and this is the first egg out. You can just about feel the snake in there. So all I'm doing is making sure that the snake is out of the way. Pick this up. Oh, a little bit of gunk there. Let's see what's coming out. Very excited to see these, because I don't know how well we've done due to the things they've been through. So let's have a look. Oh, fantastic. Look at that. So if I can just get that open a little bit there for you. So you can see that in there. Now that looks to be a Mojave pinstripe, possibly even leopard, but we'll find out more once they actually come out of the egg. But that's off to a good start. Lovely patterning on there. All right, let's put you back. Ooh. Okay, so the second egg, what are we going to get in here? An orange dream Batman. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? But unfortunately, that's not possible. Let's see what we get. There's another pinstripe north there. The eggs are very, very delicate. Can't see very well. Looking very similar to the previous one. I don't know if you can see there. Oh, that's just try and cut a little bit more of this egg away. Maybe you'd be able to see. There's the head of it there. Look at that. Really, really nice. The pinstripe. Fantastic. So 2 for 2 for pinstripes, no normals. Let's jinx myself, shall we? Alright, we'll go for the third egg. Let's just tidy this away. New sheet down. Third egg. This one is actually the smallest of the eggs in the clutch. Let's see what we're going to get out of this. Oh, another one again. Another pinstripe. 3 for 3. Amazing. Now, I'm not as experienced as some people that you'll watch on YouTube. So calling the genes out exactly while they're still in the egg is a skill I'm yet to learn fully. But it's definitely pinstripe in there. It looks a little bit more blushed out than the previous two, but great looking snake nonetheless. Very, very bundled up in there as well. Wonder if there's maybe 2 in there that looks that full. Clear this one away. Okay, egg 4. There's another slightly smaller one. The So, egg number 4. These ones are on the smaller side. They average out about 80 grams. The other clutch that I've got in the incubator are a touch over 100 grams each. So these are considerably smaller in comparison. I think that looks to be a leopard Mojave, I think, looking at that. Fantastic. Now the odds of getting all of the different combinations that we talked about earlier are 1 in 8 for everything. So 1 in 8 of a normal, 1 in 8 of a pinstripe, 1 in 8 of a Mojave, 1 in 8 of a leopard. 1 in 8 of a leopard Mojave, a leopard pinstripe, or a pinstripe leopard, or the Mojave pinstripe leopard altogether. So we've got 8 eggs. I'm hoping we don't hit the wild, so we'll see how we go. So egg number 5. Ooh, back's quite ridged up there. So try and do this a little bit higher. You can see some of the veins and things in the eggs, but there's not really any blood because they're getting ready to pip on their own and push their way out. So I think I jinxed myself there by saying let's hope that we don't get a normal, but that looks like that could well be a normal. But hey, you play the odds, you take your chance. What's the song? You pay your money, you take your chance. But healthy hatchlings is what it's all about, and as long as it's healthy, that's all that really matters. Okay, so egg number 6. A little bit of mould gold on the top of this one. We'll see where we get to. Another Mojave. Sorry, another pinstripe. Just cut a little bit more into these. If I could pick these up, my hands don't work that well sometimes. So I'm always cutting away from the snake, make sure that I don't catch them. Catch the scissors on there. I think that looks like a Mojave pinstripe there. Just a lot of the alien heads. What I say, I could well be wrong. We'll see when they come out. Okay, egg number 6. This is a smaller egg, but it's very, very full of snake. So let's see what awaits us in here. Oh, I definitely played the full, and it looks like that's another normal, or a classic or wild type. So 2 there. Unfortunately, the odd gods are not against me by the looks of this. Bit of a egg slime there all over the place. And we'll shoot out for the last egg. Egg number 8. Let's see, what are we going to get in this one? This one's reasonably full. And it's very hard to pinch anything there. So, pick a good place to cut. So let's just be very careful. This one's going to spill out quite a lot. You can see that. It's a Mojave there. And very light, a lot lighter than the Mojaves I hatched last year. The yellow on the back of them was a brilliant yellow, but it was the same male that I paired to the other Mojave female, but maybe the brightness comes from the other one, from the female, or maybe there's something else at play. So I've had a little bit of a better look at these snakes, and here's all 4 eggs now. So sorry about that. We've got the wild types. We've got the Mojaves. We have the pinstripes and the pinstripe Mojaves. I unfortunately don't think that we've actually hit any leopard pinstripes, which is a shame, or any of the civets. But that's just how it goes sometimes. So maybe next time, eh? Maybe next time. Okay, so that was the egg cutting. 4 healthy eggs, not the odds I was hoping for, but that's the way it goes. So we ended up with 2 wild or classics, 2 Mojaves, 2 pinstripe and 2 Mojave pinstripes. But plenty more eggs to come this year, plenty more interesting combos to come along and to hope for. So if you did like this video, then make sure that you hit that like button, you hit the subscribe button, and share it with some of your snake friends. Make sure that you hit the notification bell, because those eggs are going back in the incubator until they come out of the eggs on their own, and then we'll do an update video, so you don't want to miss that. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.